Hey everybody, it's Tamika. I am here to give you the dimensions for the mini album and the box, and then you guys can continue on with the live USTREAM. I hit record later on, so I wanted to give you the base and then you can finish it from there. So we're going to start out with black cardstock. I'm using Recollections brand, and we're going to cut our base pages out. First page is 10 5/8 by 3 7/8. So I'm going to start out here. 3 7/8 by 10 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And keep them in its place because we're going to go back and score. So make sure you have them in order. So the first piece is 10 5/8 by 3 7/8. The second piece is 3 7/8 by 10 1/2. And then the third piece is 3 7/8 by 10 3/8. 10 3/8. Okay. We're also going to cut our little tiny cover side piece, and that piece is 3 7/8 by 2 3/4. Alright, we're going to get our scoreboard out, starting with the first piece that was 10 5/8 by 3 7/8. We are going to score at 5. There we go. And 5 5/8. 5 and 5 5/8. I'm going to go ahead and fold that over, give it a nice crease. That's piece 1. Second piece, that was 10 1/2 by 3 7/8. We're going to cut at 5, or not cut, score, and then 5 1/2. And we're going to go ahead and fold those pieces over. The last piece, that's 10 3/8 by 3 7/8, we're going to score at 5, and then 5 3/8. All right, and that little side piece, that's 3 7/8 by 2 3/4. On a 2 3/4 inch side, you want to score at 1. And then 1 3/4. Go ahead and fold that over. All right. Okay. So at this point, you don't want to adhere anything down, because when you continue on the USTREAM, you'll be cutting pattern paper pieces for the rest of this stuff. So what you want to do is layer all your pieces together, from the biggest to the smallest. Get them all lined up, layer them inside each other. Okay. And then grab your outer flange and layer that on top of everything else. Make sure everything is all lined up perfectly. Even on the inside here, make sure that's lined up perfectly. You're going to take your, I'm going to punch a hole with my crocodile. So, not doing any measuring, I'm just going to take the smallest end and stick it all the way, after I center it, stick it all the way in there and punch it. And I'm going to hold it and flip it to the other side and do the same thing. Stick it all the way in there and punch it. That way you should have 2 even holes, or very close to being perfectly even. And you're going to take some eyelets. I use some black eyelets. And just to hold your place while you cut the rest of your papers, you're going to put them in here through all 3 or all 4 pieces. That's the first one, and then second one here. All right. So now you want to get out your corner rounder. So this is what you should have so far. Nothing is adhered down, just attached with the brad. Okay, very important. Don't adhere anything down. So take your corner chomper or corner rounder. I'm going to use the 1/4 inch end and just round your corners. On both sides. So this is what you should have so far. This cute little book, like so. So that's all you need for now for the book. The rest will be explained in the USTREAM. And then you want to grab 2 more pieces of black or whatever your base cardstock you're using to coordinate with your pattern paper so we can make the box. You need 1 piece at 5 1/4 by 6 3/4. And then you'll need 1 piece at 5 1/4 by 5 3/4. Okay. Just move this out the way. And we're going to grab our score tool. So we're going to start out with the back of the box, what I like to call the back of the box, but it's the piece that's 5 1/4 by 5 3/4. I'm just looking for my hole punch here. There it is. Okay. So we're going to start out with the back of the box. The back of the box measurements are 5 1/4 by 5 3/4. And on the 5 1/4 inch side, you're going to score at 1/2 inch. And then you're going to score at 4 1/2. You're going to flip it. And then you're going to score at 5. Okay, so while your score mark crosses at the bottom, you're going to put your hole punch there at the top. Just like so. And fold these over. Alright, give them a good crease here. Okay, I'm going to set that aside for now. Well, actually, let's go ahead and punch out. Let's go ahead and cut the bottoms off. So for this, you are going to cut off this whole bottom row. Right at that score mark. So this is all you'll have. Okay. And then you're going to take your other piece, which is the 5 1/4 by 6 3/4. And again, on the 5 1/4 side, you want to score at 1/2 inch, and then 4 1/2. Flip it, flip it, score it at 5, and then 5 3/4. Okay, fold over all the edges. And we're going to cut off on this left hand score mark. We're going to cut these two and slit it there. And we're going to cut off those ends. And we're going to go to where these slit marks are. So there's two little squares on the side. We're going to cut off those ends. And then we're going to take our corner rounder again. I'm using the 1/4 inch side. And we're going to round the bottom of these. Just makes it easier to close. Okay, so you want to grab some tape. I use double-sided tape for this, but you can use ATG tape or what have you. And so after you've scored this piece, go ahead and take your top half of the box, line it up, and then match it so that you can cut the hole to the bottom half of the box to match. Okay, and there's a small side on both sides of the paper, on both sheets of paper. There's a smaller score piece and then a larger one. And then for this one, there's a smaller one and then a larger one. So what we want to do is match up. Face your score marks where you match up one small side and one large side. Like so. So you'd have to bend them to, you know, whatever end would match, large and small. I hope you get that. So this is how your box will end up looking. Okay. So we're going to flip this, or start with this box here, or this side, with the extra little pieces at the bottom. So the pieces are being scored upwards toward the sky. And I'm going to put a piece of adhesive on the inside of this piece at the edge. Just on the edge. And then I'm going to move that to the side, and this other piece with the folds facing upward. Let me make sure I got that right. Yeah, folds facing upward. I'm going to put a piece of adhesive on the edge, the larger edge on the right side, like that. So they're going to match up like so. So you have them like this, you're going to just match them up. So I'm going to start out here on this end, folding up and matching up this edge. So this is the piece with the flap at the end. This is facing down. Just match the two edges together. And then the piece, there's this tape on this right side. Just match to the end on the other piece, on the other box, on the side. So your box should look like that. So now you should have an open box. Flip that over. Add some tape to the bottom flap. Okay. And then tuck it in. And then take some scissors or your bone folder and make sure it's all even. And adhere that little flap to the box. So that's what you should have. And then your book will fit perfectly, or should fit perfectly inside the box. Okay? So now that you have that, you guys can go ahead and continue watching for the layering and all the rest of the good stuff for this mini boxed album. Thanks for reminding me. Well, nope, I'm recording now. Sorry. Yeah, sorry. I didn't hit record. But it's recording now. Dang it. Okay, so where was I at? Oh, cutting the side piece. So the pieces are at 3 3/4 by 5/8. So 5/8. And I can't do that on this trimmer. I can't see it. So what I'm going to do is grab my scoreboard and mark it to 5/8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. This is the better cutter. This is the better paper cutter, but as far as this measuring thing going, it's not that well. It's probably why I don't use it that much. So that piece was again 1 by 3 3/4 by 5/8, and that's gonna go right there. And then we'll need 2 pieces at 3 3/4 by 7/8. It's already 3 3/4, and I'm gonna put this. Gotta do it over here by 7/8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, 7/8 is really 3/4. So 2 of them at 3 3/4 by 3/4 of an inch. And I just use my scoreboard to mark it because, like I said, this particular trimmer is hard to see where that is. Okay. Sorry about the recording, guys. Yes, Veronica, I know I will be recording that first part. I love you guys. Okay. So get my ATG tape out. I love how you guys say, yeah, I know you're gonna do that. Funny. Alright. So I'm gonna cover this little piece up here. And this does not seem very... Sorry, I'm a little OCD about this. Cut this sliver off. I'm just gonna add the tape to these little pieces and add them to the front. And this I like the border on, see here, I like the border around, so if you want this is the exact measurements for that, but if you don't want the border, then of course measure exactly, you know, what the space is. Bone of the measurement for those little pieces were 3 3/4 by 5/8. You just need one of those, and then 2 at 3 3/4 by 7 3/4. 3 3/4 by 7/8 is what I wrote down. So it's the dot before the inch. Sorry, I had to go look. 3 3/4 by 7/8. Okay, and last one, put this in the middle. So now I have to go back and punch those holes through the paper we just laid, so that the I keep saying eyelets, but they're not, so that the brads will fit through. Just punch the little holes. Alright, and then we have to layer this paper. Okay, we need the measurements for the little pieces again. The measurements for the little pieces, this little... Okay, I'm going to repeat the measurements. For the side piece, it is, I gotta find out where I wrote that at. So the basic piece, this piece here, the black portion, is 3 7/8 by 2 3/4. And then on the 2 3/4 side, we score at 1 and then 1 3/4. And then to fill the paper pieces on the inside for the pattern paper, It's 3 3/4 by 5/8. You just need one of those. That's this one. And you'll need two at 3 3/4 by 7/8. Okay. So now we're going to bring out this pattern paper in our trimmer. Save all these little tidbits. I mean, I do. I use them in the layering and all that stuff for other projects too, because you'll be cutting off a lot of this paper. So I'm going to grab my a piece of paper that I'm going to use for the front, and a piece I'm going to use for the back of this mini album, just to cover it up, and then we can begin layering. Begin covering the pattern paper with on the mini book. So the pieces are cut at 4 3/4 by 3 3/4. So of course 4 3/4 is the long way. So I'm going to cut just two for now. 4 3/4 by 3 3/4. And then another one, 4 3/4 by 3 3/4. Okay. Don't let the trimmer go far. Take out your corner chomper, figure out the direction of your pages, and round just the right side. Well, let me see. If you're using double-sided paper, so if you're using double-sided paper, it'll be maybe a little bit different. Decide which way you want your papers to go. This is single-sided, so this is the front piece, and I'm going to round it on the right side at the 1/4 inch round end, because that's going to go on the front. Now, for the back, I would need to round, if I'm using, just determine which, if you're using double-sided paper, which side. So I need to round on the left-hand side, because that's the way the mini album is positioned. So this, unfortunately, is not a directional pattern, so I could just round it at any point. But just wanted to make sure you guys knew that, because this is going to be going towards the left. And I made that mistake before. I tried to go fast and cut all my papers at the same time, and words were upside down and patterns were backwards. I was like, I'll make sure to say that when I'm doing the video. So we just want to line this piece of paper up. I just added some ATG on it, on the back of the paper, and that's the back sheet. And I'm going to add some more on the front sheet. Okay. Add this here. This is the cover. I love this sheet of paper. Don't stick yet. Don't stick. That was a little more crooked than I'd like it to be. Okay. Now that the front and back is covered, we can go ahead and add our flange to the cover. Okay. Before we lay that down permanently, I want to add some hole reinforcers, just because I think they look cute, and then they help to reinforce the hole. And I just get these hole reinforcements from the Dollar Tree. You get 1,000,000 in a pack for $1.07. So I'm going to add a hole reinforcer to the front here. And one more at the top. And just center it the best way you can. Now you can, before you put this down with the brads, you can add a tiny little piece in here if you want. So I didn't do that. So now I can add my brads. But it does cover the inside, so maybe I'll do it for this one. I'll figure out the measurement and do it for this mini. Okay. And just place your brads in the spots that we made earlier. And make sure they go the long way so they don't interfere with turning the pages. So that's how your book should look so far. And then you just want to add some adhesive to the insides of the flaps. So I just turn it. You can add double-sided tape or ATG tape. Just lay that down. And then the front flap, and I just do two runs through. Then make sure that gets on there really well. You're good to go with that. Super cute. Yay, it's so cute. It's so cute. All right, so now we want to grab, what did I do with my paper? Oh, there it is. Grab the rest of the paper and just start cutting, because I didn't do it ahead of time. I was leaving this time in case you guys had questions or need to get caught up on something. I'm just going to cut the paper at this point. And the paper again is 4 3/4 by 3 3/4. Now you want to make sure that you know which direction you want your paper to be. So going the long way, that's 4 3/4. So you make sure that that's the way that you're cutting. And then also the back piece. Make sure if you have any patterns or something, you know, you're just paying attention to that. So 4 3/4. And then I like this little piece at the top, so I cut off the tip where the paper is attached to the pad, because I like this little piece here. So 4 3/4 by 3 3/4. I love that piece of paper. So cute. All right, and I'm just going to do the same thing for the next few pieces here. Is anybody doing it right now? I'm sure Bona is. She's super fast. Veronica, have you gotten back on the kick? Oh, I love this paper too. Veronica, you writing it down? If you guys don't know, Veronica, who is DL Ballin' One on YouTube, actually completed the last tag mini, the last USTREAM. Like I have so many under my belt. She completed the USTREAM, the tag mini. So you guys have to check her out. She's the DL Ballin' One on YouTube. If you guys have a minute, throw out your YouTube pages. There may be some people who don't know you. This is a cute page too. Look at this bird cage page. Super cute. Alright, we're almost done here. And I'm really just turning the paper, depending on which pattern I want, I'm just turning the paper in that direction. So that's all. Yeah, like that. I'll turn it this way because I like that top piece. Isn't that cute? Does this page remind you like a little ballerina sheep? So pretty. Okay, 2 more. And the last one. Okay. So we have all of our pieces. So we should cut out 10, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yep. Oh, you guys are freezing? I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Bona. Everything is freezing. Okay. So we'll need 10 pieces. So I just like to go through and pick out, you know, my 10 pieces. Make sure I got them all the direction that I want them to go. Layered. Oh, bye, bee. Get out of here. You're not welcome at this USTREAM. Right. That's that. And then remember to save out your pieces for your cover. I don't know why I do this. Like, I really, literally sit and do this. I don't know. I like to look at them back to back. Does anybody else do that? I like to place it and see where everything's going to be. Put this over here. Alright, I must have cut out one too many sheets, so I'm going to put this up here. It is 14 sheets, but I must have been cutting willy-nilly. Oh, the box. Alright. It's still 14 sheets of 3 3/3 by 4 3/4. Alright, so I do this because I want to know what side I'm cutting rounding my corner. So all of these sides are going to go on that side. You know, all of the left, or the corners are going to go on the left-hand side of the paper. So that's why I do that. Don't worry, I know where I'm at. Everything has its place. Alright. So all of these sheets are going to be cut on this side. And I'm using my 1/4 inch side. And I'm going to do 3 at a time. Alright, that's the left side, and then the rest are to be cut on the right. Kyla, be careful of the cord, honey.
Okay.
Okay. Linda, you suggested a challenge. These sheets are going to be cut on the right-hand side. I don't know if I said that already. What's the challenge? Because I'm all for a challenge, and I got stuff to give away. I'm trying to clean my garage. I got to get some of this stuff out. You know, what happened is, oh, you're going to make minis? Minis and share. Oh, that'll be awesome. That's cool. I like that. So what are, okay, let me finish this thing. What was I going to say? Oh, you know how when you start scrapping and you just kind of purchase, like, oh, I think I like this, I think I like that, and then you kind of merge. Sometimes you just grow out of a style or what have you. So that's what I'm finding that I'm doing here. And I just have stuff that is clogging up the room, and I don't scrap in that style, or I don't choose to, or just whatever the case may be, and I need to get the stuff out of here. Alright, this is going to go on this side. On a side note, check out Audrey's Finish It Friday. Audrey, you did a Finish It Friday? Oh, I missed that one. Such a horrible friend, I guess. I got to go and check it. Audrey's channel is so good on YouTube. All I'm doing is layering this paper. So anybody that's doing the mini album right now, you have time to catch up. And I like the little borders here, so. Alright. Kyla's here right now. She's not doing the She's not doing a mini album, but she's like staring right dead at me. Say hi, Kyla.
Hi.
Okay. All right. And I'm just adding ATG tape. I'm being nosy. Gina, okay, I started watching Bona and Arlene at the same time when they were Tim Holtz, and I bought tons of that stuff and realized it was not my style. I know! You know what? My first people that I watched were Bona and Arlene. They were some of the first people too. And I did buy a lot of Tim Holtz stuff. But, so we blame you, Bona. But, I gotta get rid of all of those new series. Okay. I have to get rid of all that stuff. I had so much grunge board. Kyla, everyone says hi.
Hi.
She says hi back. Alright, so thank you guys. But yeah, I remember, and I've told this story several times, and I'm sure Cheryl and Audrey are rolling their heads behind them because I'm going to tell it again. And I started my first, I think one of my first swaps, if not my first swap, was it with you, Bona, or was it with Arlene? Might have been Arlene. It was a Paris tag swap. And I thought, I was hovering. She had did the announcement, I think it might have been Arlene, but she had did the announcement that she was hosting a swap. Like, she's like, the swap is going to be up tomorrow, just to let you guys know. It fills up fast, you know, and be here. So I remember getting up early that morning, hovering over the blog, waiting for whatever time it was to start for the blog to post to be open, and refreshing. I was like, oh my god, it's not refreshing. It's not, she hasn't listened up, it's not active, I don't see it. And I would get out of the page, go back in, and I was waiting. And finally, you know, it wasn't late. It was probably like a minute later. Maybe I was just too anxious, but I kept refreshing. So finally, when it was time, I was like, I'm in. And I was so excited. And you guys can go back and look for it and come back and laugh at me and tell me about it later. But it was a Paris tag. Paris in July tag swap or Paris tag swap or something. All right, before I finish that, I'm done with page. I'm done matting, which is like the longest part for me. So this is the end of the book. This is the end of this. Now you are maybe able, let me get the prototype out. You are maybe able to put a couple of little embellishments in here, but not much. Okay, so to finish the story, well, wait. I can't finish the story just yet. Hold on. Let's get this pattern paper on here for the back. So I'm going to use this piece here and layer it on the back. I'm just going to take my scissors and gently distress the edges. Just use the back of the scissors and lightly scrape the edges. Like this. Gives it a tad bit of shabby. Flip it over. Just add some tape to the back. Oh no. Oh, okay. I'm going to change my ATG tape really quick. Okay. See if my ATG gun will cooperate today. Around here. Okay. We're back in action. So I'm going to layer this right on the top, and then I'm going to go back and cut out that notch that we made earlier. So we're going to flip it over, line it up as best you can, cut the notch. See? Okay, so that's the back. And then I'm going to add some double-sided tape. I'm using a smaller one. This is scrappy tape, and it's a 1/4 inch. It's double-sided tape. Put this away. And I'm going to add tape to the what am I trying to say? I'm going to add tape to the smaller sides that are scored. So this is if you look at this piece is smaller than this piece. If you look at this piece, which is the front, to me, this piece is smaller than this piece. So I'm going to add tape. So if you face it toward the front, whatever the front of your box will be, I'm going to add tape to the small side. Okay, so this is the front. Remember, we added a little tape down here so that when we tuck it under, it'll stay. So to the right of that, add another little piece of tape. Okay, Linda. Linda has to refresh. So Audrey, she's asking you to take over any questions. I think Audrey's having computer problems too, or it's slowing down. So this is the back piece where we just laid the piece, the pattern paper on the back. We're going to add it to the smallest side. Burnish that really well. Alright, make sure I'm doing that correctly. Yes, okay. So we're going to take the piece off of the back piece. So we got the back piece, we just layered that back side on. We didn't layer anything to the front yet, because we're going to do that off-site. Off-site. We're not going to attach it yet. So we just took the double-sided piece from the back, and that's going to match up with the fat side of the score mark to the front. So you put the double-sided piece on the small sides, so the thicker side is what you're going to match it up to. So this is the easiest way. This is your back piece. The score piece is here, sticky. This is the front piece where you layered the tape. Line the two up. You know, I'm going to add, I want that whole space filled up, so I'm going to add some ATG on the edge. I maybe could have squeezed by with a 1/2 inch tape. Okay, so just line that up. Let me make sure. Wait. Gotta do that right. Okay, wait a second. Don't do anything yet. I think I have my pieces scored wrong here. I'm just figuring this out. Let me make sure I did this correctly. Okay. Okay. Oh, to fix this, because I didn't mean to leave these. I did mean to leave these flaps on, but they're on incorrectly. So I'm going to cut off those two little tiny flaps. They're not necessary anyway. So now we just have them like that, because I meant to put one on this side and one on the other. But to fix it, just cut them off. Okay, so now we're back in business. And then now we're going to line this up with that. And then on this side, we're going to do the same thing. Take off this piece of tape. And fold the other side in. That's the best way for me to do it. Fold it in, and then just make sure it's nice and scored. And I'm going to take the side where the tape is, which I need to add a little bit more tape to that side. Fold in the side with the tape and line it up to the tip of the other side there. So then you have your boxes like that. So I'm just going to clean off some of this extra ATG tape. Okay, so we got that. And then you want to, this tucks in just like that. So in order for that to stay, that's why we added this tiny little piece. Take this piece off, stick it in the bottom where it's even, and then I just take my scissors or a score tool and make sure that's adhered to the bottom. All right. Okay, so that's the box and the book. Yay! Okay, so we're done. Well, no, we're not. We'll go back and finish covering the sides of this box really quick. And I know I have the measurements for that on here somewhere. Box front. Or maybe I don't. Okay, we have to cover these side pieces. So the side pieces are, just measure these really quick. Use your scraps and just cover the side pieces. And I'll give you the measurements here in a quick second. This is my lazy way of measuring. I know I'm not the only one that does this. I know I'm not. Alright. Give me a second. Okay. I'm going to, oh, that's perfect. Let's cut a little bit off the bottom. Okay. The measurements for this will be 3/4 inch by 5, and you'll need 2 of them, obviously, for both sides. Just going to cut another piece using my scraps here, and I'm not going to use my trimmer. I'm just going to use my scissors. Quick little measurement again. Yep, okay. So again, that measurement is 5 by 3/4, and you'll need 2 of them. Just add my tape. Oh, before I do that, I want to, since I already roughed the edges of that one, I'm just going to gently rough the edges of this. Just with the back of my scissors. Lay that on there, and then the next piece, I love doing this. I love shabby. You know, that's why I said I was migrating. Shabby makes me happy. Alright, just add that tape to this side. Hold on a second. Okay, so this is what we should have so far. So we're going to work on the front cover here. I'm going to move out some of these scrap pieces really quick. Okay. So what I did, I have this little, it's a tiny little journaling pieces. Okay. So I used one of these little pieces. I just ripped apart and used it as a layer. So I'm using this top pink one up here. So all I did was literally just rip it close to the edges of, you know, where the paper starts, the rectangle that it's in. I just wanted to, I didn't want to cut it, and I just want to add a little bit of texture. So that's that piece. And then for my front box piece, I'm using this sheet. And I'm going to cut it the same size that I cut the other ones. I'm just not going to score it, which is 4 3/4 by 3 3/4. And then that goes here. And I'm not going to layer it. I'm just going to, okay, Linda's back. I'm not going to layer it. I'm just going to hold it in the place where I want it to be and cut my hole so that it can, so when we get done with the stuff we're doing to it, it'll match up. I'm going to move this box aside. And I'm going to get my old mat out. Remember, I got these mats from IKEA. They're good for doing this type of stuff on. They wipe away really easily. And you can find them in the kitchen section for $1.99. It's really a placemat, is what it is. And I also use it for a Cricut mat. Very versatile piece of equipment. Okay, so I'm going to take my front of my box. Okay, I'm going to cut out a little piece of chipboard because after I did the video, I cannot find my palette knife, which is what you really want to use. So we're going to do some distressing on this paper. I'm going to, Veronica, this is the tiny little mixed media that we're doing. Tiny little bit. Not a mixed media person, but it looks cute. So all we're doing is just a gentle rough run over with the scissors. Now I know a lot of you guys have the Prima tool. You can use sandpaper. The scissors are here. Somebody have the Tim Holtz Distress tool, which I have, but the scissors are right here and it goes really fast. So just fray that really quick. And I'm going to use this matte medium. Now this is the first time that I ever used this because it was on sale for like 40% off at Michael's, and I was like, well, I might as well, no time better than the present to do it. So it's this Golden Artist Colors matte gel medium, and I'm using this stencil here. You can use any stencil. This is a chicken wire stencil, and I'm literally just going to place it on there because it's going to be a background texture. Okay, so I'm going to use a little bit of this matte medium. I know this is a bit unorthodox, but it's gonna work. Place the stencil over the paper and just give it a gentle run through. It doesn't have to be perfect. As a matter of fact, I would not like it perfect. I really liked how this came out when I did it the first time. It was a very subtle texture. Very subtle. But I liked it. Okay. Just a little bit of that. You can also use, I mean, if you don't have that, use gesso. Super super cute. I love it. Okay, so I'm going to dry this really quick with my heat tool. And this tool is hot, it's new, so I'm going to use my scissors to hold it down. This has a bit of a peak that I don't like. Oh, that's a good idea. Bona said to use old gift cards. That's an excellent idea. That's a very good idea. It works better than chipboard. You don't have to keep doing it over and over and over, or replacing the chipboard. Love that tip. I'm just drying it. It's almost done. I'll give it a couple more seconds. All right, hold on. The sweetest ones are always the nasty ones. What are y'all talking about? Oh, hey Jennifer. Trace of Sparkle. I'm using matte gel medium. Thank you, Linda. I had a moment to look up. Okay, so this is all dry. Then I'm going to take a little bit of gesso and wash over that. I'm just going to put that right here on my mat here. And I got this gesso from Michael's. And I have a paintbrush here somewhere. I do. Oops. I'm just going to run the gesso over the top with this paintbrush, because it whitens everything and it kind of brings that matte gel medium to the surface. Oh, that's so pretty. That texture is so pretty. Just a little bit, and then I'm going to wash it, wipe it over with a wet wipe for the extra gesso that I don't want there. Just gently wiping it over. Okay. Gina, Gina, what are you doing with Shamar? There's a bee in here. Okay, so I'm going to dip my wipe in here and just kind of just get my edges a little bit more. I dipped it in the gesso. Hope you guys can see this texture back there. Okay, so now I'm going to add some color to it, some color droplets. I'm using this Prima Color Bloom spray in Cotton Candy, Soft Teal, and I'm going to use Dilutions ink spray. I like Dilutions black too. It's really concentrated. So all I'm going to do, I'm going to have my wet wipe handy, because this sprays really good, and I don't want the whole, I just want a subtle look. So twirl this at the bottom because I don't want to shake it and clog it up. I got my handy dandy box here, and I'm lightly just going to not even push the nozzle all the way down. I just want to like kind of barely push it so that it gets droplets. See, can you see the, sometimes it'll spray out, but it'll get these little droplets. And then I'm gonna, that was a cotton candy, so I'm gonna do it with the teal. I'm afraid this, okay, there we go. I was gonna say, I'm afraid this is gonna spray out, and I don't, oh shoot, it did. Well, I'm just doing a droplet. So you really just barely release it. You press it and then release it. And I've just got my wet wipe ready to go. Another option is take it out of the nozzle and do this, but for me that gets everywhere. It's a better look, but it does get everywhere, so just be prepared. And I'm going to dry that first before I add the pink again. See, I'm just taking my wipe and dabbing it for the pools that create. See? Okay, so I'm going to do the pink. Oh, I love it. It's so pretty. And then in between, you have to dry or else they'll bleed and run, and I don't want this to run. Take your wipe, gently tap to gather up that excess liquid. Oh, so cute! And then I'm going to do a few with my dilutions because there is quite a bit of black, or you know, there's dark on this mini, but get over here. There we go. That's it for that. And I'm going to dry it. All right. This is what we have. Super cute background. I love it, love it, love it, love it. Okay. Okay. So, now I'm going to stamp a little bit. And I'm using a script stamp by Stampabilities called Faded Text Background. TR1011, and then I'm using a Prima clear stamp 850463, and this is a bricks stamp. Okay, so I'm just going to start with the brick stamp. That's what I want to use more of. So all I do, I still even have the plastic on it, and I'm using Memento ink in Tuxedo Black. I'm going to place the stamp on top of the pad and just lightly, randomly add the little textures to it. That's it. And I don't re-stamp. I mean, I don't re-ink. Just, that's what it is. Just to add texture. It's so cute. I love it. Okay. Alright, so this script, I stamped it earlier, but I'm just going to gently, like literally, gently rub it across one light time because I don't want it heavy. The brick stamp came from Hobby Lobby, $10.99. And I'm just lightly adding just a tiny bit so you can see a little bit of that script on the corners because that's where most of the stuff you'll see it. That's where you'll see most of the stamping. Ooh, it's all of a sudden got 100 degrees in here. Okay, so just, not the brick, the script. Oh, the script stamp came from, yeah, not the brick, the script. Yeah, the script stamp. Yep, the script stamp came from Hobby Lobby. this stamp came from the warehouse grab bag that I just got from Prima. And I'm just going to add a tiny bit of gesso over this, just a little bit, because I just wanted to be washed just to, ooh, I didn't wait for it to dry. Ah, I'm glad I caught that. Dry it, dry it, dry it. My ink was still wet. Just over the top. Just a little bit around the edges to tone down some of that. Just a little bit. Okay. Well, that's how that's turned out. Oh my gosh, it's super cute. It's a lot of texture in here, and I love it. Okay, so now we're going to get to this paper. Fussy cutting some of these items out of this this paper pad. Let's see. I'm trying to get my scraps together here. Don't move this. If you have a base, we're not going to go too far with that. We got to come back and do some other stuff, but I'm going to get my items to fussy cut. Now these are all the scraps. This is the one I was looking for. You can always, you know, save these little items out to fussy cut or die cut stuff out of it. Lots of little things you can use out of here. Okay, that's it for now. So these little butterflies, super cute. I'm just going to fussy cut these out. And I got this idea from Mama Tiffany. Like, this whole album was inspired by this super gorgeous acetate card she created using, I think it was a Prima, what do you call it? When you're a design team, when you're trying out, I can't think, audition. Oh my gosh, I couldn't think of that word. So I think she did it as one of her projects. But it was absolutely gorgeous. But to finish up my story from way back when, so I joined the swap, the tag pair swap, and I was so proud. Like, I worked on that for a long time. I was so proud of my creation. I was so proud of my creation. I sent it on, and all was well in my eyes. So then comes the video. So I just cut out those butterflies. Then comes the video where she's showing everybody's project. And I'm in a group with Rena. And you guys know how talented she is. But I was so embarrassed. My tag was like 10 times as large as everybody else's tag. And I had like foam on it. Like, it was, oh my God, I could only imagine as a hostess. She was like, oh Lord. I don't know what she said, but I was like, oh, I'm so embarrassed. But, you know, we learn. And it took me a long time to swap again because I was so embarrassed. I just was like, I'm going to wait a little bit until I learn some more tricks, and then I'll get back in it. But until then, no, I'm going to wait. But yeah, everybody starts from somewhere, and that was my most embarrassing moment. So this is the piece we cut earlier, and we have the little butterfly. Sorry, I got this in frame so I can see what I'm doing. And then I'm using this Say It in Crystals bling, and these are leaves. And I'm using some hydrangea petals and some Prima flowers. Okay. Stuff out the way. So we're going to start out with putting some double-sided tape on the back of this piece. Make sure it's not going to go anywhere. Great story. It's a real story, girl. The struggle was real. And she was so nice as to not, you know, say anything negative about it. If you go back and watch the video, you'll see, well, maybe I'm reading more into it than what it is, but she said all nice things, and she pointed out things in the video, and that's probably where I learned, not to say that I get bad stuff, but you just got to find something good in everybody's project, regardless. But everybody who participates in my swap always does a great job. But she found, like, oh, this is a very pretty bling. You know, she found some nice stuff in there to say, and I know it had to have been a struggle for her. Woo. So all I did was add double-sided tape. And I'm going to add it to the box, because we're done with the wet stuff. Just add it to the box. And I have some lace here. I'm just going to cut off a strip of this lace and color it with some color spray. I only need a little piece. So this is how much I'm using. And it's just enough to tuck, basically. Bring out my color box. And this time I'm using Prima Precious Stone Mist. And I'm just spraying that a couple times just to give it a light color. See, this is how my glue gun gets messy. See? I don't know how you guys glue guns, I mean not glue guns, well my glue gun too, but heat guns, heat tools stay so clean unless you just clean it after every project, but I go with it. This is how it turned out. Okay, put that to the side. I think that's all the items I needed. Oh, bring back out my little mat here. And we're going to gesso some things. I'm going to gesso that little piece of paper that we're going to layer on. And then, besides Gina being the ultimate enabler, Bona is an ultimate enabler as well, because she posted this on one social media, and maybe Instagram or Facebook or YouTube. This Sizzix Tim Holtz die, and it's super cute. She did like a bunch, I think she did a video too on a bunch of these cards. So I'm using that, and I just cut out some of these blotches. But you can use any die cuts. Alright, I'm going to take out a couple of these hydrangeas flowers, and they're in a cute mauve color. And then these Prima flower embellishments, item number 533328. And I've already used one for the first one that I did, so I'm going to use that one there. And then I'm going to cut out my romance novel, little sentiment, and I'm using this Memories. Just cut it right up to where the line is, where the actual sentiment is, nothing over. I'm going to use the back of my scissors. It's the splatter die. Yep. I'll get you the code for it, or whatever I can grab off of there to help you out. It is Sizzix Thinlits. This item number is 660222. And yeah, it's it just says 4 dies, but it is the splatter die. I mean, it is. If you look up splatter Sizzix Thinlits, you'll probably be able to find it. Okay, so I cut that out. And then I'm using this flower, or one of these flowers. These are just random flowers from my stash that I've collected from somewhere. I'm going to take one of them off, open it up, flatten it up really well. Still on frame here. Flatten it up really well because I'm going to stamp on it with the script stamp. And use it as a tuck piece. Cut the end off. I'm going to do that right now. Just using my Memento Tuxedo Black ink. And I just, it doesn't have to be perfect. I'm just using it for texture. And I just flatten the flower out as best I can. And I'm going to layer this right on top and then just give it a good press. Oh, I love it! It's so cute. Let me show you. Fluff it back up. It's a script flower. It's so cute. I love it. Okay, so I think that's all I had to get. A little bit of gesso in my corner. It's so funny, this bottle is so heavy, but it's a chore getting it out the top. Okay. So I'm just going to use, you can use a paintbrush. I don't like this thickness of this paintbrush, like it's really hard. So I'm going to use a white. Love baby wipes. I get them from the dollar store. So just dap it in my gesso ball right here, just a little bit, and gently whitewash. I just take a little bit at a time and just gently whitewash over this paper. That's it. Same thing I'm doing for the little tiny sentiment that says memories. Just to take away some of the brown tone. And then I'm going to do it again for this flower. Put that down so you guys can see. First I apply it, and then I'm going to wipe it off with a clean space on the wipe. Let that sit over there. And I'm going to do this other hydrangea. Just random. And this flower. Who has stock in romance now? Oh, Cheryl. Yep, she's got stock in romance now. You guys know, I swear, every time she goes to Hobby Lobby, she probably buy a romance novel paper pad. I don't know. She loves her paper. Everybody has their favorite paper collection from a favorite company. And I do. I have one, but my favorite Graphic 45 line is their doggone school paper line. Veronica probably commented that, is that paper gone yet? Because I did so many videos on that paper. I kept buying it. I kept buying it over and over and over, and I just love it. I do. I really do. So for this flower, I did gesso it, and I'm going to add a little bit of more shine to it. So I'm going to take this Elmer's spray adhesive, shoot it a couple times, and then I'm going to cover it a little bit with this crystal fine glitter from Martha Stewart. Oh, we're talking about hoarding the romance novel. Well, I don't hoard it. I do cut into it often. But yeah. So, just a couple of zaps. That's it. Let that kind of marinate for a couple seconds. Oh, the girls' papery. Oh, Bona, I love the girls' papery. Oh my gosh. I don't even know if they sell it anymore. Or if they do, where can I find it? So all I did was sprinkle that a little bit with it. I'll tap off the excess, and then you see, oh my gosh, that's so pretty. Okay. We're going to bring the box back out. And I'm going to add some pop dots to the back of this piece of paper. That any piece of paper can work from the collection or however, but it's just using something to build around. So I'm just going to add some of these square pop dots that I got from the Scrapbook Expo, and I'm just adding them to the middle so I'm able to tuck around it if I need to. Okay, I'm going to move this out the way. It's a distraction. So that's going to go right on here. Right. Did I make this Prima flower? Question was, did I make the flower? No. This flower, came out of this flower embellishment from Prima. Item number 533328. And this flower, this white one, is just one from my stash. I don't even know where I got this from, honestly. You see they're all beat up, but you can always rejuvenate these by adding sprays and using your heat tool and that kind of thing. But that came from here, and all I did was stamp it with my script stamp and some ink. And these hydrangea flowers came from Prima as well. They're hydrangea petals in mauve. Item number 170547. Erica, I can't post it on YouTube because I tried it. Oh, by the way, if you want to do the Tag Mini album, it's going to be gone in like a week, 7 days. It's going to be gone on the 16th, I think. A month from after you do the USTREAM, they said they delete the videos. I was not able to convert it to YouTube. I have to Google on how to do that. Maybe I can like download it and then transfer it and upload it and that kind of thing. But to get it directly on the YouTube, you have to upgrade to like Pro, which was $99 a month. So I'm not going to do that. So if you're wanting to make the Tag Mini, you do have until September 16th. So I don't think I'm able to do this one either, unfortunately. So I just put that on here, just like so. And I'm going to take this, before I put the lace, I'm going to add my bling piece. So I just cut up this little leaf here, this leaf bling, and I just use the petals, actually. So cut off a petal here, and then I'll cut off a petal up here. Stretching my bling. And it's adhesive backed. It's Say It in Crystals. And it's item number 549978. But I'm just using it for my petals, as you can see. I'm going to see if I can able to zoom in. How do I do that? Okay. I'm going to see if I'm able to zoom in just a bit more. Let me see how that looks. Is that too close? Okay. So, see it now? Is it too bright now? Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and lay this leaf here. And take the other leaf, kind of lay it down here underneath there. That's why I only add the pop dots to the middle of this so I can layer around it. So then I'm going to take my hydrangea, and that's going to go right here on the right hand side, but I'm going to cut it in half because it's too big to fit. It's another way to stretch your hydrangea petals. Cut it in half, add a dot of glue, or not hydrangea petals, but any flowers. I'm going to add a dot of glue to the center, and then layer the other flower on top. I got to clean my fingers, I can't. Layer the other flour on top. Let me get some of this paint off my fingers. So yeah, that's a good way when you only have one flour left. You know, just cut it in half and you can tuck and nip it somewhere else on the mini album. Is this too close for you guys, or is that glare unbearable? I can try to turn it down. We're almost done, but let's see. Okay, maybe that's a little better. Okay. So just want to layer the two together, make it a little bit more, thicker, and I'm going to add a little bit of dimensional on it and cut up down the middle of my pop dot and add one piece to the back in the center to give it some height. Add a dot of glue on here. And just place that on the side. I love it. Super cute. So the second one, I'm going to do the same thing. Just cut it in half. You could cut it in half and fold it over if you wanted to, but I didn't gesso the back, so it wouldn't look right. Add a dot of glue. Layer it on top. And then I'm going to add a dimensional to the back again. Squeeze that on there real good. Okay. So here is where I'm going to add this little blotch spot on here. And I'm going to use the rest of this gesso on here and just wash it, whitewash it a little bit. Just a tiny bit. Add a pop dot to the back. So you just add a pop dot to the back. And then that's going to go just up there in the corner, just to add some interest. Flop up these petals a little bit. Okay. And then the flower we just created with the script. Yeah, I know. We're going to cut it in half. And then just making sure all of the pieces are there. Add some glue to the back and just place it on the top here, just like so. Okay, so I'm going to cut this lace piece, nice little piece here, and then that's going to bunch up right up under here. Just bunch up real good right under there. So you want a bit of a longer piece. You can always cut off the extra, but I liked it bunchy. So I'm just literally just placing it on there, and I'm going to flip up my piece and just add a tiny strip of glue under there, and then continue to bunch. Bunch and hold, bunch and hold. That's all you need. I'm going to bunch a little bit over here. Sometimes you can use your scissors. And I'm going to do the same thing for the top. I know some people sew it first and then do all that. I don't. But you can. I don't need this much. Bunch this under here. Again. Bunchy, bunchy, bunchy. Flip it up. Add some glue and just hold it with my scissors. Ah, too long. Held it too long. Okay, we have to do that over. I held it too long. Just hold it in place, Tamika, and let it go. Alright. try this again. Okay, and then I'm going to take a piece of the lace and just use a little bit of the white by itself to kind of tie in all the rest of it. Just taking a little piece, ball it up. This is another way you can do it. Ball it up like that. A little glue, just a tiny bit of glue around there. And yeah, I hold it. My glue gun is medium heat. So, and then I'm going to tuck it. I know a flower is going to go here, so I'm going to tuck it so that it can stick out. Let me see where I want to tuck here. Yeah, I'm going to tuck it here. I'm going to cut it down a little bit. Put a little piece of glue right there and then stick my flower in there. Just a little bit. Just hold it. That's cute. Okay. So this is my big flower. That's going to go there, but first I'm going to add a pop dot to the back. Give it some height. Look at that glitter on here. Oh my gosh. I love it. Oh, I need a glue stick. Okay. Glue stick on the back. Glue stick on the back. Actually, I'm going to add one more pop dot. I want this to pop out. And I just added it right on top of that glue. Now I'll just add a dot of glue. And then add it. Kind of center it where that script, you can still see that script flower that you placed. You still want to be able to see that. Take the other half of that script flower, that little piece, we're going to tuck that underneath the flower we just laid, right under here. But first, we're going to add a piece of the pop dot to the back. Add a little bit of hot glue and add it right under this flower, making sure you hide the beginning where you cut the flower. Angle it so that it's tucked under there nicely. See? So cute. So pretty. Okay, so back to these butterflies. They're going to tuck on top of the hydrangea, but underneath that first little card piece that we lay down. And I'll show you. I'm going to add a pop dot to all three little sections here. See? Add a pop dot to the three little sections of butterfly. And take it off. So it's going to go right in between the hydrangea and that first layer of page that we tore. Super easy. And this is why we leave space for tucking. And that, see, it's going to go just like that. It's just a little bit of texture, but it says a lot. So for this, I'm going to add, once I place it, I'm going to add hot glue on the bottoms of the pop dots. This is how this is looking so far. Okay. Let's move out some of this. Now we have this other half of hydrangea. And I wanted this to go under the big flower. Take the glue dot off, the backing of the pop dot, add some hot glue, tuck it right under the big flower, off center from the script flower. So I added it right up here. So you still see my script flower. Okay, somebody text me. Let's see. Oh, you kicked out again, Linda? I'm sorry. Okay, so this is where we're at with that. Okay, now we're going to add our sentiment. This is the memories or whatever sentiment you have. I'm going to cut another pop dot and add it to the beginning of this little part here, because I'm going to make it into like a little wave. Let me just see what it looks like first. Yep, okay. It's going to go right here, and I'm going to wave it. So I'm going to take the back off, and I'm going to add some hot glue on both sides, on top of the pop dot and a little bit on the edge at the beginning. We don't need it in the middle because it's going to kind of banner up. Stick that underneath there and pop that up so that meets the end there. I'll hold that for a second. So cute. It's so cute. So pretty. I love the sparkle on these flowers. Okay, and then my butterfly punch. I'm going to take some of the extra pieces, some of these white and black pieces, to add a little bit more to it. Let me just see. Where I want to add it to. Okay, add a little glue. Just figure out where you want to add it. Just add it. Okay, I got one more. Maybe able to fit this on here somewhere, or maybe not. Where did I have it on my other one? Oh, it's on top of this bird. Yeah, I don't like it on top of the bird for this. Thinking of it right here. Okay. I'll put it right here. Just let it sit up on top of that lace. And I'm going to, I should have sparkled those before. How can I do that? Where's my shimmer? I'm going to add some shimmer to the entire thing. This is homemade shimmer mist, but I don't want my flower to be super shimmery besides what it already is. So I'm just going to put a little piece of paper on top of it, because the stickles, the glitter on here is amazing on that flower, but I just want shimmer on the rest of the book. So I'm just going to cut out a piece of paper to hide that while I shimmer, because I don't want to lose that whole effect. Right? I'm just going to spray it a couple times. Linda's back. Okay. All I'm doing, Linda, is I covered this flower with the piece of paper, the one that I glittered, and I'm going to shimmer the whole book. And then hit it with the tool. And that shimmer mist is alcohol based, so it dries really fast. Okay. So at this point, I just have to add my little book. Now you can also add ribbon, like hanging out of here. I thought about that before you seal that down really well. You can add ribbon and have it hang out the side. I'm going to zoom back out. So this is what we have. It's super cute, right? It's super cute. I love it. I love it. I love it. Oh, I'm so happy. Okay, so a couple of things. So let's revisit this challenge. Well, first, before we do that, I have a giveaway, a couple giveaways. So shout out to Cheryl and Audrey, who at our meet and greet, we did not get a chance to do our challenge that we had. We always have a challenge for each other. And we did not get a chance to do ours because, I don't know, I think we were chit-chatting a bit much, and I didn't bring enough supplies for everyone, so I didn't want to bring it out, and so everybody didn't have a chance to play. So I just left it and I kept it. So they have generously decided to donate their challenge mini albums to 2 people. So thank you, Cheryl and Audrey, for your generous donation. And you'll be getting the 2 people. Now I had to take this apart and remeasure it so that I can do this, but this is the original book that I made. You guys can see the video on it on my YouTube channel. If I can just get, oh, there it is. So this is the original book that I made. Super cute. Like, it has the poinsettias, it has a word, these little die cuts, the stickles, all the stuff is in these little mini bags. So everyone say thank you to Cheryl and Audrey. I don't know if they'll agree with me with the generous donation, but thank you guys. So I am going to send a number for this first giveaway to Linda. Linda, I'm sending you a number. Oh, do I want to keep recording this part? No, I'm going to stop recording. Wait a minute. I missed that last. What happened to the last text? Oh, Audrey and Cheryl, thank you so much for your generous donation. So Linda, I sent you a text with the number. So for the first giveaway, anyone who gets the number closest to the number, Linda, if you can kind of keep an eye on that, the 2 people that's closest will get these, one each of these little things to make this book. So it's using a really fun paper that I can't think of right now, but it's really a cute paper. And you can make your own mini album, like the eyelets in there, everything. Plus there'll be some goodies in there to go along with that as well. So if you guys want to start guessing for that, that would be awesome. We'll give it about a minute. And Linda, you just let me know what the number is. Whoever guesses the closest. And then for the second giveaway, this is so cute. Like, I just love it. Okay, for the second giveaway, you will receive this book. So, done, complete. I'm giving you that along with some other goodies that I'm throwing in there. So, told you I'm trying to clean out my garage. So, any way that I get a chance to get some stuff out of here, I'm happy with it. Okay. 30 more seconds. And then, yeah, so that's that one. And then that's that one. So 3 people. We got 3 winners. Thank you guys so much for staying, commenting. Yep. Yep, Linda, I know somebody guessed it dead on. So we need to do the, I looked up and saw it. And so we need to do a second person too. One of you guys are lucky. Okay, so time's up for that one. Who is it, Linda? Well, I know for sure Glow Flow 46. I know. Thank you. Glow Flow 46, number 22. You win because the number was 22. So PM me your address on Facebook or YouTube. I'm SCRAPDAWORLD, SCRAPDAWORLD on YouTube. You're so welcome, Ukrainian gal. Oh Lord. So who's the second one? Let me see. Let me scroll. Did you get kicked off again? Let me scroll. I think it's 25, Dotson 6019, and 27. So 22. So 25 would be, is that the close one? 17, 18, 19, 21, 22. Gina, 17. So yeah, it would be Dotson 60619. Yep. Oh, there you go. Now I refresh it. Okay, there you are. So Dotson 60619, and I forgot the Glow Flow 46. Send me your addresses. And for this one, to win this one, and some goodies, again the same number. And Audrey, I'm sending you a number between 1 and 100. Now, you guys can just let me know. I'll give you 30 seconds. And I have another thing. I'm trying to get this stuff out of here. Hold on. Start guessing. I guess I gave that away already. Sorry. Oh. $12 seconds. I forgot the number already. I'm glad I texted it. Okay. 5, 4, 3, 2. Okay, I wasn't paying attention. Who won? Who won, Audrey? Hello? Am I behind in chat again? Oh. Oh, Kavandra, you won. What was her number? The number that I sent was, I don't even remember. Okay, here's a text. Kavandra. Yep, 63. The number I sent was 63, so you have 65. Congratulations, ladies. Please PM me your address to get these items sent to your house. And then, not related to this, if you guys are able to Periscope tomorrow, we're having a Periscope party. This is what I'm giving away tomorrow. It's a Martha Stewart punch set. So you'll get the frame punch cartridge, and then you'll also get this frame border punch cartridge. Hold on, I just lost the text again. And then you'll get the apparatus to make the cartridge work. So it's a bunch of us ladies. It's if I can remember them all. There's, I know that Lamika is participating, myself, Pocono Pam, Coco Martha, Jennifer Priest. It's 2 more people that I just followed myself, so I can't remember those names, and I apologize. But check the Facebook page. You guys can win like a prize at every single stop. So it's a Periscope party. So anyway, just thought I'd throw that out there. So we're done. I'm so happy you guys stayed. Thank you, Gina. Thank you, Bona. Hey, April. I didn't know you were here. Made by April Ann. Veronica, Linda, Audrey, Cheryl. Have a great day, Bona. I'm going to stop recording.